2017, the declaration of Jerusalem as the capital was a miracle, and there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible.
So, Mr. Third Temple is back. Pete Hegseth, a man whose vision for Israel and Palestine is anything but ordinary, has now taken one of the most powerful positions in Washington. But what does this mean for Gaza, for Al-Aqsa Mosque, and for the entire region? His past statements tell us everything we need to know, and it's deeply alarming. Just days into his new role as U.S. Defense Secretary, Hegseth's first international call wasn't to NATO, and not even to Israel's defense minister, his official counterpart. Instead, he went straight to Netanyahu. Why? The Pentagon statement simply says the U.S. remains committed to ensuring Israel has the capabilities it needs to defend itself. But we know what that really means. More funding, more weapons, and more destruction under the excuse of self-defense. But let's not forget who Pete Hegseth really is. This isn't just another pro-Israel official. This is a man with a mission. The same man who, in 2018, stood in Jerusalem and declared, "The Third Temple will be built. It's not a question of if, but when." Think about that. This isn't some fringe belief. The idea of building the Third Temple isn't just a religious dream for extremists. It's a direct threat to Al-Aqsa Mosque. Because according to their vision, for the Third Temple to rise, Al-Aqsa must be destroyed. And now, Hegseth is in a position where he can push that vision forward, alongside Netanyahu's far-right government and a Trump administration that has already proven its loyalty to Israel's most radical policies. Meanwhile, as Netanyahu wages war in Gaza, Trump has introduced a so-called evacuation plan for Palestinians, a forced displacement disguised as humanitarian aid. The question is, evacuate to where? Who decides their fate? And is this just another attempt to permanently remove Palestinians from their own land, under the pretense of protection? For decades, Israel has tried different tactics to erase Palestinian existence: blockades, illegal settlements, mass bombings. Now, with this so-called evacuation plan, they are shifting the narrative. Instead of openly calling for expulsion, they frame it as a necessary measure for Palestinian safety. But the reality is clear. The goal is to depopulate Gaza and advance the Zionist project of complete control over historic Palestine. And here's where it all connects. Because who do you think will be overseeing this new phase? Who will make sure Israel has everything it needs to continue its military aggression? Pete Hegseth, a man who believes Israel's territorial expansion is not only justified, but divinely ordained. This is no coincidence. Hegseth's appointment, his immediate alignment with Netanyahu, Trump's so-called humanitarian evacuation plan, it's all part of the same agenda. It's about cementing Israeli dominance, crushing Palestinian resistance, and advancing the radical dream of replacing Al-Aqsa with the Third Temple. The question now is, how far will they go? Will we see more U.S. military aid flooding into Israel? More bombings in Gaza? More displacement disguised as help? And most importantly, will the world continue to watch in silence as another catastrophe unfolds? What do you think? Is this just another phase of Israel's occupation? Or are we looking at something far bigger? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay informed about the truth behind this conflict, make sure to like, subscribe,